Why did Jesus come to earth? Think about it. You can probably list 10 reasons why Jesus came. Jesus came to save us from our sins. Jesus came to die on the cross. Jesus came to demonstrate God's love. Jesus came to straighten out the religion that was out of whack. Jesus came to make disciples. Jesus came to die on the cross. All these reasons, we can list them all, and if you chose any one of those as your number one answer, you're probably right. But looking into John chapter 17, it says right at the end of Jesus' life, right as he's about to go to the cross, you know this chapter, John chapter 17, Jesus is praying. He's off praying by himself, and this is such an interesting verse in verse 4. It says, in the middle of his prayer, I have brought you glory on earth by completing the work you gave me to do. And now, Father, glorify me in your presence with the glory I had with you before the world began. Think about that for a second. Jesus is saying here, in his prayer, before he goes to the cross, he says, God, I have brought you glory on earth. I've finished what you sent me to do. And now I can go to the cross. Interesting. What's this prayer about? Because the rest of the prayer gives us absolutely clarity on what Jesus came to do. He says that, I brought you glory on earth. Here it is. And the whole rest of that chapter is about his disciples. I've brought you glory on earth by completing what you sent me to do. Here they are. They're rough around the edges. They're not ready yet. But mission accomplished. I've finished it. It's been done well. It's time for me to go to cross. And then they will continue on and they will change the world. Jesus came, according to this chapter, clearly to make disciples who would be his hands and feet, who would do his work. And what are the things there that he prays about throughout the rest of that chapter? You know that chapter as well as I do. He prays for their protection. He prays for their unity. He prays for their love. He prays for the people that would follow Christ in their footsteps and through their ministry. And he goes on to pray for all of the people that God has given him. Let me ask you this. Think about your ministry for a second. What are the most important aspects of your ministry? If I asked you what's your ministry all about, what would you say? Some are going to say community, service, justice and mercy, worship, learning. All of these things are solid elements in our ministry that we can't really do without. But whatever it is that marks your ministry, discipleship has to be at its core. Are we actually moving people forward, actually and intentionally and on purpose, moving people forward in their walk with Christ, in effective living for Christ, day by day? Are they experiencing Christ in me more and more every day? Are we, like Christ, come to make disciples? Yes, there was a lot of other reasons Jesus came, and they all worked in their time and in their place and in their balance. But let me ask you, are we really moving people forward in discipleship?